Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete our employee registration option, right? So after that employee registration, then in our employee management, I have already completed that employee registration, and then I want to discuss about that employee salary. Okay, so into this salary, how can assign this salary to the employee, and also how can increment this salary step by step. Everything I will show you with a live example. So for doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the menu, right? So in our sidebar, after that our employee registration, here I want to add another menu. So if you want to do that work, so that is in our sidebar. Now go to our project. So into the project, if you go to that view, into the admin, the body, and then that is our sidebar, right? So before I have created as a employee registration, now I want to create new one. I copy that li. I think you already understand that part, so that will be as a salary. Okay, I name it as a employee salary. So our first work is we have to create one of the route. So our route right now I want to name it as a salary or employee salary view. Okay, this type of one of the route I want to create, that will be as a employee salary and then view. So if you want to create this route, we have to work in our web route. Now go to our web route. So into the web route, and that is the employee registration prefix, right? So into the same prefix I want to add another one. Better after this I put some of the note. So that is our last one, and that is our and one for our this employee prefix, right? So into the employee prefix I put some of the note, that will be as a employee and then salary all route. So this type of one of the node I put on here, and then we need one of the view page. So that will be obviously one of the get method. I copy it, and after that I want to start that things from here. So our route name I have already declared. So right now we don't need this. Okay, I remove everything from here. So that is our sidebar. Into the sidebar I put one of the route. Our route name will be as a employee salary view. So now I copy it. So that will be our employee salary view. And then I name it, and here I only want to replace it registration to the salary. Then it's actually our route will be the perfect. So that is our salary employee view, right? So that will be our URL, and I put that our route name at this one. And also better I want to create another controller. So I want to create another controller for the employee, not that registration. That will be for our salary related everything, right? So for the reasons I name it as a salary controller. So this type of one of the controller I have to create, and also we have to create one of the method. So that better I want to name it as a salary view. Okay, I name it as a salary view. So our first work is we have to create one of the controllers. So now if you want to create this controller, I think you already know about that part. So better you have to go to your project. Into the project, that is our project. So now I open with the CMD, and then I run as a PHP artisan, and then make controller. And now I want to create this controller into the backend folder, and into the backend I have also created another folder. Maybe here I have also created another controller as an employee controller, right? That means the employee folder. So into the employee folder, here I want to create another controller as a employee salary controller. So that will be better. So into the backend area, I have created another folder as an employee. I name it as an employee. And then I want to create another one, which will be as an employee, and then salary controller. Okay, I name it as a employee salary controller. So now if you click as a enter, now you can see our controller created successfully, right friends? So now we have to first of all support it. So that is our employee folder into the employee salary. So right now we want to support it in our web route. So now go to our web route, and here into the previous one I have already added another one as a registration controller. That means the employee registration controller. Now I want to create another one that will be in our backend folder into the employee folder, and that will be as the employee salary controller. I copy it, and that will be this one, right? So now we can actually use it. So right now I copy it. So that will be our employee salary controller. Perfect. So into the employee salary controller, I want to create one of the method. That method will be as a salary view. So this type of one of the method we have to create on here. Now go to our employee salary controller, and after that I want to create one of the new method that will be as a public, and then function, and then our method name, right? I hope, friend, at that point it's very much clear to you. So better I want to support all that our model, cause here this salary is also connected with the lot of the models. So better in our employee registration, into the employee registration, here you can see here I already load that our user model, that is our discount student. So if anything needed, we'll actually add it. So right now better I want to support all that model. So I copy it, and also there is another one. I copy everything, and right now here after that here, first of all I want to support all that model. Okay, I support all that model in our employee salary controller area. So now our first work is we have to get all that our employee data, right? So if you go to our user table, so into the user table I have already completed that registration portion. So if you go to that our user table, so that is our database. Into the database, that is our user table, and into the user table you can see that is actually our user type, right? So right now I want to get all that our user type, which user type will be as an employee. You can see that is the employee, right, friend? So first of all I want to get all the data, that means this employee data. So that is in our user table, and that is our field name as a user type. So I want to put this type of one of the condition. So right now there is our salary, and here I want to add one of the data. Okay, I name the data the same concept. So I name as a all data. Okay, I want to get all the data. That I want to get this data from where? I want to get this data from our user table, right? So that is our user model. So I have also loaded that user model, you can see. So with this user model we can actually access all the data from our user table. So with this user I want to put one of the condition, because here I only want to get our specific user type, which user type will be as an employee, right? So these all the data I want to get. So that will be the same, our field name as a user type, right? So make that sure spelling is correct. That is a user type, that means that is our field name. So with this field name only this employee name I want to take. Okay, so I copy it, that means all that employee that I want to take. So that is our user type, which user will be as a employee I want to get this data. Okay, so for the reasons I simply get this data. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. I get this data, take the things with this variable, and that is our data array. So now I want to pass this data here. I want to visible it in one of the page. So if you want to display one of the page, then we have to do the same things. That means the return one of the view page. So that is our view page, and into the return view I want to add this into the backend. Into the backend folder, if you go previously, I have also created another one. I have created that is our backend, and into the employee registration, right? So into the employee folder I have created as a employee registration. So right now I want to create another folder as a employee salary. That means employee salary related every file I want to save on there. So that will be as a backend folder. Then the employee folder I want to name it as employee folder, and then I want to create another folder as employee. Okay, employee underscore salary. So this type of one of the folder I want to create, and also I want to create one of the file name. Our file name will be as a employee salary underscore view. So this type of one of the page I have to create, and also I get all the data, take the things with this variable. That means here I take it without this data. So now I simply pass this data, right, friend? I think it's very much clear to you. So right now we have to create this folder as employee salary folder in our employee folder area. That means that is our employee folder. First work we have to create this folder as employee salary, and into the employee salary I want to create this file as employee salary view. So that will be one of the file. I open it. Now click as a save as, and I name it as employee salary view.blade.php. Right, friend? So here it will be just like our one of the list page, right? So it will be like if you go to that employee registration, into the employee registration, there is an employee registration view, right? So right now I want to do that will be just like that same. Here I copy it. I copy everything from here, and then in our employee salary view, that means in our this employee salary, there is employee salary view, here I paste it. So now I want to customize it as per our demand. Like that not will be as an employee list. I want to make it as a employee salary list. Okay, that will be as a salary employee salary list, and I want to make it as a add salary or employee salary. I want to take one of the button because there have also one of the button as a I name it as a add employee salary. Perfect. And then that is our code. So before I have already discussed about that things with you. If you want to display this code, only that authenticated which role user as a admin, only that admin able to view this code option. So right now we don't need this. I remove this part. I remove this, and also from here there is another TD. So I also want to remove this part. Okay, I remove it. And then I want to visible all that our field for the employee as a name will be the same. That means the employee name will be visible. ID number, you can display that mobile, and then you can also display that gender. And for the I'm going to actually display all that our employee related everything. If you go to our user table structure view, then actually I can see all that our field, like whatever the field actually you want to visible, you can visible it. Right now I want to visible that employee joining date. Okay, so that is actually important, one of the parts. So better I want to also add this as a join date, and then the salary. So here they have already salary and the join date, right? So here we don't need to do anything, and then there is actually the action. Perfect. And then from here I pass this data as all data, right? I pass this data in our employee salary view page. That means here it should be the same. You can see I have already used the same name. So for the reason, so actually we don't need to change anything. That is all data. I name it as a salary right now. Okay, or you can use that as a value. Actually if you use it, then that will be very common for every pages, but I want to use that value, or rather than you can also use that as a salary. So that means with this value I want to visible that name. That means I have already get all the data from our user table, right? I am directly getting that data from the user table. So for the reasons here we don't need to change anything. That means here we don't need to add any relationship. So with this value I want to display that ID number. With this value I want to display that mobile number. That means the ID number, mobile number, and the gender. Okay, the gender will be the same. With this value I want to display the gender. With this value I want to display that joining date, and then same as a salary. Perfect. And then that will be actually the edit portion and the details portion. So right now I want to do here, I not should be that as a edit or the delete. Here I want to display that increment. That means that if you want to increment this employee salary, how can increment it? Okay, so here I want to do that is our edit or the delete. So first of all I want to change that ID. Okay, that will be as a value. With this value that will be our ID, and with this value I want to add this ID. Great, perfect. So that's all we have to do. First of all I want to check it, then we will actually update this portion. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there in your project, now click as a refresh. Yeah, now you can see there is a new menu is available as a employee salary. So now if you click as a employee salary, so into the employee salary here you can see it's now perfectly getting two of these employees. So right now I have that two employee. For the reason it's now display that name, the employee name, the ID number, the mobile number, the gender is also perfect, the join date is visible, and then the salary is visible. So as I told you friend, if you want to change that join date format, like right now by default that is actually the year is first, and then the date, and then the month, right? So right now I want to actually change it as per our demand, like that is our join date. So that will be actually one of the date format. So if you use that date format, as I told you, that will be as a date, and into the date area I make it, I want to first of all display the date, and then I want to display that month, and after that I want to display that year. Okay, so that is actually our format, and after that that will be as a our start to time. So with this start to time area I want to pass our this value, that means the joining date. So I cut it, and here I passed it. So now that should be changed. Now our format will be as a date, and then month, and then the year. right? Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh, yeah, you can see it's now perfect. It's now updated. So first of all, it's display the date and then the month and then the year. And also after that, it's display that as a salary, right? So right now that is edit or details button. So edit button, I want to actually increment this this employee salary. So right now this employee salary as a 3,000 and the test user salary, employee salary as a 4,000. Okay, and after 1 year, if you want to increment this employee, how can increment it? Okay, so that is the portion I want to work. So for the reasons here, I want to better change it. I don't want to use that as a edit. I want to change it, and here better I want to use one of the icon as a FAFA icon. So that is our edit button. So I want to add one of the FAFA icon. So that will be our icon tag. Into the icon tag area, I put one of the class, and class will be as a FAFA plus, okay, circle. So that will be as a FAFA plus circle. So this type of one of the icon will be visible. And better also for the details, I want to change it. I want to change one of the another FAFA icon. Okay, I want to use it as icon class for the details. That will be as a FAFA. Okay, FAFA and then I. So I make it as a FAFA I. Perfect. Now if you click as a save all, and now I want to check it, refresh it. Yeah, you can see it's now perfectly updated as a, or that is our incremented, and that is our details. So better I want to put some of the note here, and also I put as a 20%, right? That means a 25%, but I make it as a 20% right now. And then here, that is actually our first one. So here I want to put another title. Okay, I put the title, that will be as a increment. Okay, that will be as increment, and then that will be as a details. I put another title, that will be as a details. Okay, that will be as a details. Perfect. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now there is a white is become a little bit changes, and also if you put your cursor, you can see it's now showing as increment, and that is our details. So friend, from now I want to increment this employee. Okay, that means increment this employee salary. So here we don't need to change anything. That means the add employee salary. So I have already created that as a employee registration, right? So it will be redirected toward this registration page. Maybe I didn't change anything. That is the employee registration add, right? So here, that is if you want to change it, you can change it from to this position. Right now I want to work for our this button. Okay, that means that is actually one of the incremented button. That means the employee incremented button. So how can increment this employee salary? In our next video, I want to continue this process, and I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.